This is Mike Spreitzer from DevilDriver, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast. I'm Bruce.
And this is Riina from Silentium, still guest hosting. So nice to be with you guys.
And this is Chris, and because Bruce doesn't really know the name of his own podcast, this is the Brutally Delicious podcast.
I just fly by the seat of my pants, dude.
Yeah, apparently you moan like it too.
Yeah. Jesus, we're back to that again. Hey, so do me a favor. If I start doing that, I have the Facebook chat open. Send me a message that says I'm doing it.
Okay.
I want to catch myself because I haven't heard it yet.
It might your mic might be auto adjusting gain. Maybe that's what's happening.
I don't know. I mean, the dog is on the bed right next to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Blame it on the dog.
I'm not sure. But anyway, today we're going to be speaking with Mike from DevilDriver, and I don't know if you've had a chance to check out this new stuff, but it's
good.
Really holy shit.
Yeah, it was.
And I think
Nest of Vipers just punished me.
Yeah. And I think I was just telling you, I saw them on the main deck of the main pool deck there on 70,000 tons, and I was fucking blown away.
Oh, I bet you the place just fucking erupted too. Oh
yeah, they're quite a great live band. So if you want to hang on, we're gonna go ahead and get Mike on the line. Let me add him here. Hey, Mike, how you doing? It's Bruce Moore from the Brutally Delicious podcast. How are you?
Good. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. Hey, I've got my partner Chris and a guest with us today, Riina from Finland. Say hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing, Mike?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm pretty
all right. Where are you at?
I am outside of Los Angeles in a city called Torrance.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, are you getting smoked out right now?
That's what the guy in the last interview asked me. Luckily, I'm in an area that's not threatened by wildfires whatsoever.
Oh, cool.
But I did go outside yesterday, and there's quite a bit of ash everywhere. I just had to hose my car off today to get all the ash off of it.
Damn. Well, I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, luckily, I'm one of the lucky few around here that doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, lucky for all of us, it's only going to get worse from now on.
Probably.
Oh, hey, there's a positive attitude.
Hey. Wow, that's a good way to start this whole thing.
Yeah.
Come on, you're talking to Finn, and we are down, like we're starting the dark period now. There's 0 chance of snow for the exact same reason why the whole city is on fire in California.
Right.
So, like, we don't even now get, like, the snow that would reflect some light. So it's complete fucking darkness for 8 months. So don't expect positive attitudes from this direction.
Yikes. So, Mike, had a chance to listen to the record, and I'm fucking blown away. I love it. Are you just as happy with it now that you've had a chance to sit with it?
Yes. This is the happiest I've been with a record since Last Kind Words, our third record.
Wow.
Right.
That's saying a lot. What makes you so happy with it?
It just seemed to come together a lot better this time than previous records. And one of the big things that I think helped the record was working with Steve Evans. Honestly, I don't ever want to work with a different producer ever again, because for one thing, he's only about 30 minutes away from me, and we've become pretty close friends in the 2 records that we've worked on together. Well, 3 now, if you count this one as 2. And one thing that we did that we didn't do on previous records was actually, as a band, get together and do pre-production. And that was only me, Neil, Austin, and Steve. And, Des would pop in from time to time and see how things were going. And, he had, the demos that he had been listening to already. But Steve he made us learn all the songs, the 3 of us. And the pre-production, he really worked Austin a lot. He really pushed Austin to, to switch things up, do different things. And most of the pre-production was for Austin. But other than that, it's an easy process with Steve. He's got a lot of the same work ethic that Neil and I have. And there wasn't a single argument ever. between the band, between us and Steve, nothing. It was one of the most fun records I've ever done. And I think that cool. That shows in the end product.
I'm just looking at Steve's credits here, and it's safe to say he kind of knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing. And one of the cool things is because of his age, he started recording when, Pro Tools wasn't around, and he recorded to tape.
Yeah.
And he doesn't dismiss modern technology at all, but having him in the studio is kind of having this old school vibe and this new school vibe. It's like this hybrid of awesomeness in a producer that I really, really like.
Did you record the tape?
No, we didn't do that. Steve was tinkering with the idea of, he does have a tape machine. He was tinkering with the idea of, mixing down onto tape, and then bouncing it back to Pro Tools before we'd give it to our mastering engineer.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, toward the end, I asked him how it was going, and he was like, "Dude, I'll never do a double record with any band ever again. It's just too many songs." And I've mixed records, and I think when I did the Wednesday record, there was somewhere between 12 and 14 songs. And that's a good amount of work. I can't imagine how long the amount of work it takes to do 20. It's a lot of music. And not to say that he didn't have fun doing it, but I just don't think he ever wants to take on a project like that ever. And I don't blame him. I'd feel the same way. I mean, if Des was like, "All right, we're going to do another double record," I'd be like, "Fuck no, or not."
I mean, even if you mix a song a day and you call it at the end of the day, that's like almost 3 weeks of work.
It's probably closer to a month, because the first mix always takes the longest.
Absolutely.
Every other mix after that is, you have your template and you're kind of ready to go. But, I'm in the middle of mixing this song right now from the first song of this record I'm mixing right now from this band Tortured Saint. And I'm already on like day 4 of trying to get the first song the way I want it to sound.
I hear ya.
And then once I get the band's approval and they like that first song, it's like, okay, the rest of this is going to be pretty easy because I know what they want.
Right.
Yeah. It takes a while. Like you say, that first track takes a bit. I've been mixing a lot lately. But I would like to do 3 songs, but mostly I just get one. Like a band's like, "Hey, we did this song, mix it and master it. We did this song, mix it and master it." So you spend more time, because of that.
Yeah, you do.
What was your writing process like for this record because of the whole pandemic thing? Were you guys more reliant on the digital realm instead of getting together, or how did that work out?
The whole record was done about a year before the pandemic hit.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people think, rightfully so, a lot of people are thinking that we wrote the song "Keep Away From Me" because of the pandemic, but that had nothing. That song was written, recorded, and mastered, everything. We didn't change the title, and we knew that was going to be the first single off the first record. It just was a coincidence that it tied into the whole social distancing thing going on right now. And obviously the video was made because of the pandemic, but the song wasn't written about it at all.
Right.
Yeah, some of us just enjoy people keeping their distance as default setting of life.
Yeah, it's that's actually kind of a dream come true, because I'm like, dude, personal space.
Yeah.
No, seriously. I feel you. Like, that was like, when this whole thing started, and he was like, "You can't go to work. You have to work from home. You can't go anywhere. Just stay." And I was like, "Oh, what a nightmare." Like, perfect. I've been waiting for this my entire life.
Right.
See, now she's turning this into a positive thing rather than focusing on the negative.
We get it to come around sooner or later. Are you guys, is DevilDriver or anyone in particular doing anything different or special to engage with the fans during all this nonsense since you can't tour?
Not yet. We had a band meeting over the phone a few days ago, and we're talking about doing a music video, and as a band together.
Right.
But Des has to be extra careful because Anastasia, his wife, just got through that whole cancer scare, and he wants to go through anything even remotely like that again. And our guitar player Neil has asthma, And so he's high risk. And, I'm willing to do it. Austin's willing to do it. Ashes is down to do it. So I think we're going to figure out a way to make it happen, but we're just going to have to be super careful about it. And
Sure.
Austin or Neil and Dez are just going to have to do their best to stay as far away from the rest of, or everybody there, including the crew that's shooting the video, just staying away.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually been some actually pretty cool productions where people have like just done their bits in separate places, and then it's combined into a video, whether it be by dividing the screen into like different bits or whatever. But of course there's like a million ways to do this and keep people safe and still do it.
Yeah, so Dez is working out the details on that right now, but no final decisions have been made yet, as of yet.
It's a strange time, right? Because you can't tour, you can't really get together and feel safe, and yet you still have a record to promote, and that's got to be kind of a difficult place to kind of start from.
Yeah, and I'm just taking it. I mean, it is what it is. I find comfort in the fact that we don't have a choice.
Yeah,
true.
Everybody's in the same boat for sure. Yeah,
and sometimes making choices is the hardest part. So the choice has already been made.
True story.
Got to live with it.
Yeah. So did you guys, when you guys were recording the record, were you using real amps or did you use software amps? How did you approach that?
Most of what was done on this record was all done through real amps. And it's another thing that we've never done before is usually in DevilDriver, if you wrote the riff, because even, our old drummer, John, wrote a lot of stuff. Jeff wrote a lot of stuff. Our old bass player wrote a lot of stuff. So for the most part, whoever wrote the riff or the song ended up recording the rhythms for it on both sides, left and right.
Yeah.
But Steve noticed how much of a difference in tone Neil and I have. For some reason, when he plays guitar, he gets more low end out of it. Yeah. And when I play with the way my right hand is positioned, I get more high end and less low end. So he thought it would be cool to have Neil on one side of rhythms and me on the other. And we used, Neil would pick a guitar with specific, usually with EMGs in it, and go through an overdrive pedal and an amp. And we had two speaker cabinets set up. They're both Mesa Boogies, and one had, they both had vintage 30s on the bottom, and then one had creambacks on top, and the other one had greenbacks on top.
Oh,
and we kind of went between those two. We either used one or the other. And like my Friedman Alice in Chains amp, the Jerry Cantrell signature, that one really sounds better through greenbacks for some reason, but most of the other amps sounded better through creambacks, so we ended up using that most of the time. But every song on these on both records, except there's two songs where there was one song where I did all the rhythms, and there's one song where Neil did all the rhythms. But all the other songs, the other 18 of them, it's all Neil on one side and me on the other.
Wow. That's really cool. And thanks for the in-depth look at it. Is there a reason that you were using EMGs?
Neil was using EMGs, and I like EMGs, but I've found I like Fishman pickups better. And my favorite one right now is the Devin Townsend signature pickup.
Oh God, yeah. If Devin puts his name on it, it's going to be slamming.
Yeah, I had just gotten it, put it in one of my guitars, and we had already used my guitars with the modern fluences in them on a few songs. And then I got a pair of those, I put them in and brought it over to the studio, and Steve's eyes and my eyes just lit up when I first played through it. Like, wow, that's a good sounding pickup.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And you said you were using Mesa Boogie amps. Which ones do you remember?
We used, I got my Friedman JJ100. I got a 5150 block letter.
Oh.
A 6505 plus by PV. I also have a friend let me borrow a 6534. We had a Bogner Ecstasy, a couple Soldanos.
Jesus.
I had, we didn't end up using it, but I have a Marshall JMP1 preamp. We didn't end up using that though. I also have this preamp called a PV Rockmaster. That's basically, it's like one of the highest gain amps I've ever played in my life. Like you definitely don't need to put an overdrive in front of that. I have an Engel preamp, and I can't remember if we used that or not. But then the one other amp that we use that no one knows what kind of amp it is, but Steve shares his studio with a guy that used to play keys in Nine Inch Nails, and I believe on the Fragile record cycle. And he had an amp that we're pretty sure was the main rhythm tones on Perfect Circle's first record.
Ah.
And it has no casing. It's just the guts. So he brought in this amp, and I don't know, none of us know what it is, but we did end up using it on one or two songs. So there's a lot of different stuff going on. And Steve also likes to put like 6 microphones onto a speaker cabinet and, sum them into one track through analog summing. But, we wouldn't use all 6 mics at the same time. He'll just kind of blend some in, blend them out. And
Yeah, absolutely.
that's actually, I do the same thing at my studio now, too. I do the same thing. I have a analog summing box, and I got like 6 to 8 mics on a cabinet, and then, I'll just reamp the guitar through the amp, so I don't have to play at the same time, and I'll try a little this mic, bring this one up, this one down until I get the tone that I like, and I find it's a lot easier to get a tone that way.
We're gonna have to put a warning in front of this segment that says gear porn alert.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's what it is. Definitely.
So just last gear question. I'm a gearhead. So what reamp box are you using right now?
I have a Little Labs.
Oh yeah.
That one is really nice because it serves as a DI and as a reamp box. So when you want to reamp something, rather than recording a DI, you just press one button on it.
Yeah.
And as long as everything's hooked up correctly, you're reamping. Then when you want to stop reamping, you just press one button and then you're back to normal. But I also this is a really nerdy thing that I did. I recorded, I think I tried it with, 3 different DI boxes, a Clark Technique, a Countryman, and my Little Labs. And I would record something, and then I reamped it with the same amp, 3 times.
Yeah.
And I found, both Neil and I did this test with him, I found that the DI track reamps better with the Little Labs, better than the Countryman and the Clark Technique. It actually did sound a fair amount different.
Yeah, it's insane how much a DI can affect the sound afterwards. It's unbelievable.
It can, yeah, because it's going through a transformer, and everyone uses different components, and it's just going to do different things with the electricity in the long run.
Yeah, I'm using an old X amp that Radio gave me, and the thing I like about it has the level feature on it, so you can kind of turn it up or down so it hits the amp properly.
Yeah,
but the JD7, the Radio JD7 is also nice, but it's insane. And the craziest one I saw when I was working with Garth Richardson, he had a custom one made by a studio tech in Vancouver he also built Metallica studio. He's a huge studio builder. May he rest in peace. But that reamp box had like a drag feature on it as well, and you could alter the impedance. It was fucked. It was crazy.
Huh. That is interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, I'll stop gear porn, Bruce.
Yeah, we can go back to DevilDriver since that's what the whole.
I gotta say, this was doing much less for me than Extreme Bondage or Gangbangs or whatever.
Well, I could talk about my Pussy Melter pedal. I do have that. There we go.
Does it actually melt pussies, or is it false advertising?
Well, it's made by Steel Panther, so I do believe it. It does actually melt pussies.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
It says right there on the box. So I don't think they'd lie.
That's what she said. Okay, Bruce, I'll let you take it over because I led this down a gear path.
Oh, you've gone down the gear road here. So if you're had to take your double album here, do you have a track that speaks to you the most, that has the most meaning to you on them all? I know they all have intense meanings and they're your babies, but is there one that's resonates with you more than others?
I would say "Keep Away From Me." That was my most favorite song when the record was done. That was actually before we started recording it. I liked that song the best, and it remained the best for me after it was done. Because everything could change so much once Dez puts his vocals on it. It makes it sound like almost like a completely different song in a lot of ways. But yeah, I've always just really been into that song.
Awesome. I know I saw you guys on 70,000 Tons of Metal a couple years ago on the pool deck, and I was just blown away.
Oh, thanks, man. That was a good show.
Yeah, that was a great show. It was the middle of the day, too, right? It was like in the afternoon sometime.
Yeah. And
Sun was signing, but it was great.
I was so hungover that day.
You don't say.
I woke up early before that. No, I didn't wake up early. We had some interviews, and then I had like an hour of free time, and I ran over to that wave pool thing that they had. And because I had to try it, I'd never been on one before, so I had about an hour, and I remember doing that thing. It actually did make me feel a little bit better despite my hangover. But, yeah, 70,000 Tons of Metal was fun, man. That I definitely would do that again.
I'm so jealous. Everybody's been there except me.
It's hard not to be hungover on that boat, though.
Yeah, I've heard,
everyone's buying you drinks. Like I went to go check my bill at the on the last day, and I was expecting it to be like $400 or something like that, and it was like $60.
What? Oh my God!
Everyone kept buying me drinks, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll take a drink, sure." Yeah.
my bill is $60 before I even get to my room.
Nice.
Yeah, some of the other band members spent upwards of $400 or $500 on that trip. I mean, it's so easy. Sure. They give you that bracelet, so you're not keeping track. It's not like your wallet's getting empty.
Yeah,
cat. So they just scan that wristband of yours, and dude, that's a dangerous thing to do when drinking and around that many people.
Yeah, throw people at a metal festival and don't let them know how much money they're spending. Go. And you're not getting off the boat until you pay it. So go.
Exactly.
Yeah, isn't it like everybody's favorite drink? Free alcohol. It's the best.
Oh, yeah.
When you play the gig and everybody else is buying after.
Out of curiosity, how did you guys end up getting on that boat?
You mean how did we get booked for it?
Yeah. Like, did they call you? Did you call them? Because I know a lot of bands now they phone them because they want to be a part of that festival.
You know what? I don't know. I don't really handle any of those kind of aspects with the band. I just sometimes I'll find out about tours through the internet. One hit from Dez. It's just like, oh, I guess we're doing this tour. All right, that works.
Oh, we're in Europe in 3 weeks. All right.
Usually, no, I know. I usually have at least a couple months to prepare, but it doesn't bother me anymore. It's I understand that managers have a lot of people they have to deal with, so it's just kind of get it done, get it booked, and it's not like any of the people in the band are going to be like, oh, I can't do this. Then I mean, it's our job.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I just go wherever the plane or the tour bus takes me.
That's awesome. Chris, you got anything else?
I don't, man. Thanks for joining us today, and I really appreciate the gear talk.
Yeah, no problem, man. I love talking about that stuff.
Yeah, it was as hell. Thank you, Mike.
Sorry about that.
No kidding.
Mike, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it. Stay safe.
Yeah, you too. See you guys.
Well, man.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.